this show called Cocomelon, and apparently for kids it's like crack.
Oh, hell no!
I find it funny how Cocomelon genuinely fries a child's brain so much. Like any other kids show, Peppa Pig, Bluey, Miss Rachel will at least have them with something to learn. Cocomelon, that child is fried. So turns out Cocomelon is an evil mega corporation, and this entire time while claiming to educate kids, they've basically been creating these videos specifically to squeeze children for attention and keep them glued to their screens by any means possible. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Skibbity Toilet was never the problem, it was wheels on the bus go round and round. Pretty much over the years, there have been reports all over the internet about how toddlers are getting addicted to Cocomelon and that they're literally on it like it's the good stuff straight out of Walter White's lab. The reason for this is because Cocomelon deliberately oversaturates their colors, has a crap ton of cuts pretty much every other second, and uses repetition as a means to get the child addicted. Now, I'll be honest, the repetition shit is just cope from people. We all learned nursery rhymes with mad repetition when we were younger, and we turned out just fine, for the most part. Though that doesn't mean that Cocomelon is innocent. There's apparently pediatricians strictly warning parents to keep kids off this stuff. What's the deal with Cocomelon? We're starting to watch some TV with our little one. Keeps him distracted while we eat fast or do chores. On Disney Plus, Bluey is definitely on our rotation, as well as the Fantasia films and old Mickey Mouse episodes. Looking at other streaming platforms, I found Cocomelon on Netflix. I remember reading threads mentioning that Cocomelon is the worst, putting it up there with Caillou. The Netflix preview showed a reimagining of children's songs with some boring animation. Am I missing something? Okay, first of all, yeah, Caillou is ass, but I don't think it needed to catch a stray like that being compared to Cocomelon. So here's the main part. Somebody replied saying, our pediatrician said no Cocomelon specifically. She said anything they watch should stay on screen for at least 7 seconds before transitioning to something else, referring to how it literally switches to cut. It's extremely overstimulating, but it's like crack to their brains because of how quickly the scenes change and the brightness of the contrasting colors. They become Coco monsters. Avoid at all costs. Okay, like avoid Cocomelon or avoid when your kids become Coco monsters, because I feel like both are pretty good options. No, it's just empty calories, if empty calories also got stuck in your head. Everything is more annoying the 1000th time. It taught my kid the worst lessons. There's a song about being afraid of bugs. Now she's afraid of bugs. There's another where they cry when they get a boo-boo until they get a band-aid. Just a few examples. I banned it in our house. So you're telling me Cocomelon is implanting phobias in children's? Holy shit. My god, what if it's like a mega conspiracy where they're just working with like therapists that, you know, get rid of people's phobias, but, you know, obviously to keep people coming, people need to have phobias, so Cocomelon is the one responsible for instilling phobias in these young children. I think I'm onto something here.
True.
That Johnny Johnny song taught my kid that lying is funny. Johnny Johnny. Okay, alright. Relax. We've all learned that song. Everybody lies as an adult. You need to relax. I wonder what people said about this. That's the one who thought it was a good idea. I get the chills every time the song comes on. It's so creepy. Okay, I think people are being a little too dramatic about this one. Cocomelon doesn't work on our TV. I hate it and my daughter loves it, but I don't know why. I find it so annoying, but it completely absorbs her attention in almost a creepy way. Honestly, I just don't want to hear or watch it, so now it doesn't work in our house. So, you get the idea. Turns out Baba Black Sheep isn't a song about solving racism, but instead about rotting your child's brain, so much so that they develop autism, go nonverbal, become feral, and like a crack addict that can never get enough. Is that an extreme case? Yeah, no shit, but it's true. Just trust me, bro. There were also multiple reports from parents all over the world talking about their child being hypnotized by the Coco. Here we have an article called Cocomelon Made My Kid a Zombie, and honestly, the shit that's in this article is ridiculous, so just get a load of this.
We decided last week to switch from Cocomelon and started watching Miss Rachel. Usually they would sit here like zombies. Miss Rachel has them lit.
Parent Belle McCarthy has told Newsweek that her toddlers became like zombies, almost mesmerized when viewing the show. So, you're telling me that you gave these kids willingly their own tablets, their own screen time, and because of you lacking monitoring, they now have developed autism. Anyway, she had a TikTok after this, and honestly, I would think the Coco is what gets you lit, but it's fantastic that she's doing the gestures.
Somebody just told me about this show called Cocomelon, and apparently for kids it's like crack. So I decided to look into why it might be, and here's just a little example of why it might be. Okay, so this is My Little Pony, just for reference, and I'm going to count as soon as the scene changes, and you'll see how many seconds happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now, so that was, a few seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Let's see how many seconds it takes for each one of these scenes to change. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Yeah, so you get the idea. This is what I was talking about before, the insane jump cuts that they make pretty much every other second. Now, obviously, Cocomelon is just like nursery rhymes and stupid stories. They're not really gonna teach your kids anything except for like, I don't know, some semblance of music. A clinical psychologist basically said that there's no correlation between TV and neurodevelopmental disorders such as ADHD and autism. With these conditions, the brain is just wired differently and that can impact a child's development. However, she said that addictive shows like Cocomelon can lead to sensory overload, and sensory overload is common among people with ADHD and autism, but it can also occur without these conditions. Yeah, no shit, because they're not actually talking to people, they're just looking at screens, taking in information, and not really expunging anything out of it. But again, from that article was this post right here. It's from a child development expert that rated Cocomelon an F, a 32 out of 100 as a show for children, saying this show is highly overstimulating and is very likely to result in behavioral and attention disorders. Now, if I want to say anything in defense of Cocomelon, I never watched Cocomelon growing up, and I'm not the brightest of bulbs out there.
True.
By the way, if you also fuck with the Baby Shark heavy, then like and subscribe. I'm trying to become the #1 commentary yapper, and if not, then comment down below which nursery rhyme goes the hardest. Is it the children's fault? Well, they'd be easy to blame, but my morals do exist, believe it or not. Is it Cocomelon's? Very little, because they market it as educational content, so I guess it's false advertising, when all they're teaching kids is what it feels like to do acid. So, surprise, surprise, it's the parents' fault. Why? Because they're the ones responsible for the children's screen times in the first place, and they are very much the ones in control of what the kids can and can't watch. You know, parental controls have come a long way.
Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact. Yes.
The parents just find it easier to blame Cocomelon but fail to recognize it's their own negligence. Next thing you know, your child binges Cocomelon and turns into someone like Neon or Jack Doherty, and all of a sudden you're hoping and praying that they ask for an emancipation because you don't want to associate with that little shit, but I digress. Now obviously, it's not like some Cocomelon here and there will send your child to brain rot hell, but throw the kids outside too, spend more time with them, try to be involved with them as physically as possible. Try to be as involved with them as physically possible if you don't want to be surprised that one day your child goes full Helen Keller in a constant mental state of Cocomelon. Let me know what you guys think down below. Is Cocomelon a mind virus turning toddlers into mini zombies from Minecraft? Or are parents overreacting and they need to give their kids more freedom to experiment with addiction? Bye bye.